relative or to someone close, and they burnt me, they hurt me, whatever the case may be. First and foremost, you can only be betrayed by someone close to you. Okay. So it is still, that is a prime example of when you are to self-reflect and to go back and figure out, like, where did the Hey y'all, what's up?
What's up? What's up?
Back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I was gonna say I know you like that, but it's okay. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what Thursday nights are for at 8 o'clock right here on BExposedRadio.com. It is the B Mix, and I have the esteemed pleasure, privilege, and honor to welcome two of my boys. I don't even know how else to put it. Like, they my guys for real. They get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. Okay, with a B, nerves. But it's okay. Why? Because the B Mix is for everybody. Y'all know it's for the forgotten, the unseen, the unheard, the Christian that cusses a little, the millennial that just can't get it right. You know what I mean? That's kind of all of us right now. And everybody in between, the forgotten, okay, the forgotten part of you, or just the person that doesn't belong. Y'all know, the me. So here we go, right here on BExposedRadio.com, the B Mix, full of nothing but authentic, organic, and raw material. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to introduce, no, I'm not. Y'all go ahead and tell them who y'all are.
Uh-oh, you want to go first, bro?
Look at them, ain't they sweet?
What's going on, y'all? My name is Anthony. Me and Benia have known each other down through the years. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Mr. Supplier 88, no underscores, nothing like that. Mr. Supplier 88.
Ooh, Mr. Supplier. We don't even want to actually. I'm
waiting next.
What's good? What's up, everybody? I'm Chris, aka Chris B, and the guy that gets on Benia last. Not the first, but the last. The only one that's left. And we've been friends, so we go back like 4 flats on the Cadillac.
Hey.
And I'm on Instagram at CBV Photography _ That's my photography page / business page. Hit me up.
All right.
Shameless
all right.
plug.
Now that we got past all that, because okay. So y'all, if you caught any episode that I had, some ladies, some guests, a panel, all female panel on the the B Mix on BExposedRadio.com, then I couldn't leave out the fellas. I just couldn't, right? So when we talked, when we had some girl chat, we talked about how unprotected, we as women feel and are. We're gonna get into that a little later, y'all. I gotta get y'all feel on that, right? But seriously, to start it all off, I just want to know, right? So what first thing, like out the gate, what do you have to say to women? Like, just we're gonna just rip the Band-Aid off right now.
We jumping in hard.
We're jumping in hard, huh?
Yeah, what's up? What gets on your nerves? What do we need to stop doing? What's something that you want to see us do more?
Ooh, that's a long one right there.
Let's talk about it. We got time today.
We got time today?
Yeah, we got time today. What's up?
All right, go ahead, Chris.
Don't bite that tongue.
I'm not. So I'm gonna start off by saying, and this is so cliche, but I'm gonna say it. So know your worth, right? And don't be impressed by the little stuff, because we'll touch on this later. But don't be impressed by the simple stuff. Know what you're doing. Know your worth, and we can have fun. And so I'm gonna go out. And like, don't worry about what other people say, because that's what I'm finding out. A lot of women are worried about what other people think. Whether it's family, friends, your spouse, XYZ, be 100% you, and let people choose. You know what I mean, and that's right, not just for women, but that's for everybody, but women specifically. Be you. We probably gonna like you. Like, it ain't, yo, this girl like macaroni and cheese. I don't like her. We ain't gonna know. You're probably never gonna hear God say that ever.
Okay. So before Anthony hops on, so you said the little stuff. I know you said you're gonna get into this later, but we here right now. Like, what's the little stuff?
So, all right. So, like the little stuff. For example, right? I met this one young lady, and she was like, "I was with somebody for so long, and I told him I like flowers, and he never bought me flowers. I took Shorty out one day, bought her flowers, and she thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, it cost me $8 to run in Giants real quick. Oh shoot, my bad.
Not the dog. Okay, not the dog, y'all. Okay,
it cost me $8. It cost me $8 to run in Giant and grab these. Like, this is nothing. Like,
cost you a chicken box meal.
You impressed by this? Like, this is nothing. You was like, what? All right, that was easy. That was easy.
Okay. All right, now I'm all right. I ain't gonna lie. The first thing that just came to my mind was, did you get the draws? But okay, we can get there. You said it was easy. So was that easy? Like, was it? Wow. Okay, we will get back to that in a bit. Anthony?
For me, I want women to learn to make yourself happy. Learn what makes you happy. Learn what you enjoy. Find your happiness by yourself first, because not just women, men can't do it either. Like, when we get in a relationship, we can't, if the individual isn't happy with themselves, it's nothing another person can do for you that's going to bring happiness or joy to you. And I see so many relationships fail, or people hop from relationship to relationship because they haven't sat down and figured out what they're missing, what brings them happiness on an individual level first before they hop to the next person. And that's always going to fail.
Okay. Huh. And you know what? I'm digging that. And I appreciate that a lot, because right here on the B Mix, that's what we always get to. We can't help that, right? We can't help on the conversations, no matter what the topic is, no matter, truthfully what I'm feeling that day. We get around to trying to visit, and not just for women, but for all people, right? So all my listeners, all viewers, anybody that, thanks. Hi, Nina. All right now. Nina says hi, y'all. Just say hi, Nina.
What up, Nina?
Okay. They're ghetto.
Hey, Nina, boo. Nina got a cute name. Nina got a nice name. Hey, Nina.
You are not gonna get on my nerves like that, Chris.
You're like, hey, boo.
Anyway, sorry, Nina. They're ghetto. But yeah, so we always get to, talking about self-care, self-worth. Oh, Sherry's waving. Say hi, Sherry. Just
what
say
up,
hi.
What up?
Okay. There we go. Sorry, Sherry.
You get LL Cool J.
Stop. Y'all see why he gets on my nerves? The last nerve that I have is where he resides. But yeah, so like I said, we always get to somehow, some way about self-care, just working on self, because we know that that's really the core and the foundation of, what we need to do, the change that we need to see, just the change that we need, right? It starts with, it starts in-house. And so with that being said, a question is, so beside that, right? So I know we talked about, y'all gave a little advice just jumping out the gate, because I just had to break the ice. I didn't want nobody nervous, either y'all or any of the viewers, like, right? But so a question that I've actually seen recently on social media that I feel like it took me, right? It said, "Black man, who do you vent to?" So,
Black
men, who do you vent to? And or if the answer happens to be, I don't know, I don't have it, or if it's like touch and go, then who would you prefer, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a name, but if it's the, role or position or, area in life where you would like to, then you can speak to either one. But yeah, I need answers.
I'll jump on.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go. That's you, my contact.
My kid.
All right, so I got the perfect answer. Because I've recently just started taking better care of myself in the last. This is my second year doing therapy, and this is my first year fully with one therapist. So I actually have a consistent safe space where I can go vent. But before therapy, it wasn't really. It's a stigma where you only usually vent to your homeboys when shit really hits that fan, and you really gotta you need somebody to vent to. So normally it might be your homeboys, and you might have whether it be a sister or a close female friend that you vent to, but it can be tricky because I don't know about Chris, but I know for me, I vented to someone before where it was thrown back. Like we were arguing and it was thrown back at me like, well, you're like this because of, or, you share some personal information, you get vulnerable with them and it's thrown back at you. And you kind of like watch who you now open up to after that. So that sometimes is a reason why we kind of shy away from just, opening up and sharing.
Okay. One, I want to let you know that Nina say yes, therapy. Okay. Just saying. So shout out to you. I have to pin that right now to say that, thank you. If no one has said it to you, thank you, for going to therapy. You feel as though it's for yourself, but it's for the people. It's for the movement. It's for the community. It's for us. It's for me as a Black woman. It's for my daughter, a young Black woman. Like it's for everybody. It's for the young Black boy I just saw, on my way in the house. Like it's literally for everyone. So thank you for that. And so Chris, you were about to say something?
Yeah. So I'm glad he said it. I'm glad he touched it because I was gonna say it. So I don't know what year this is, but I've been seeing a therapist for quite some time. Maybe not as consistent now due to all the COVID and everything else. And but I tell people all the time, you can have Jesus and a therapist. Also, it's something about being able to talk to someone who doesn't know you. They don't know who your mother is. They don't know who your father is. They don't know what church you go to. They don't know what school, like, unless you tell them all, like, they don't know that. So they have no stake in the game. They've been literally sometimes it's just good just to be able to have somebody just to let it out. Right. And half the times my therapist, sometimes she might ask a question, and for the most part, depending on the day, she might be like, let's just talk and let me let it all out. And after I let it out, and 90% of the time I kind of like talk myself through it. And, she might ask probing questions or,
That's it.
So that's one. And the other thing, it depends. So like if I have like a work friend or like a buddy at work, I can be like, yo, John Doe over there in HR got on my nerves real bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if it's family related, you got that one cousin, you're like, yo, Aunt Sally is so sweet. You got like your homeboys, you're like, yo, I met this girl and I can't believe this foolishness I'm dealing with. So I think it's based on the subject matter, you probably have people in your circle that you feel more comfortable talking about whatever with. And same thing, like in personal stuff, like super, super personal stuff, I think we all got that. Not most of us have that best friend in your mother. She gonna give you a lot of times. If she like anything like my mother, she gonna give you the super, super raw, unadulterated. And you be like, are you my mother or you want to fight?
Probably both. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's balanced. That's what we do here. That's why it's the beat mix. It's balanced. That's it.
And I tell people all the time, it's okay to cry in the shower.
Listen.
You know why? Because guess what? You can't tell. You can never tell which one it was. So I mean, sometimes you don't want to say nothing to nobody. It might just be you just drinking or chilling in the house all day or watching football or whatever. Like that's like you said, Anthony. I think everyone, not just men though, but everyone has had that moment where you've been vulnerable with somebody and they used it against you or came back up and, and it really sucks. Like the intro was saying, betrayal means somebody you trusted, right? Like somebody you trusted, and you're like, yo, I thought we was better than that. Like, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right.
Why? Okay.
Right.
Well, that won't happen again.
Only one.
Yeah. All right, then.
Yeah. And it's actually unfortunate, but a part of me is like my brain juices are pumping simply because I'm reflecting back to, the girl chat that we had. And that was a bulk of, one of the conversations that talking about how just betrayal and things like that. So it's not just women, we get the charge of, we gossip. So that's why, we turn on our friends and this and the third, but I'll be honest, because that's the only way we know how to be here. Like it feels good. In a way, not that I would wish it on you, but it feels good to hear that the both of you now have said, like, yeah, like I confided in somebody, and when we're in especially nowadays, when we're in a place of I need to get it out, like if I don't get it out, you know what I mean, and yet still, people can use that and in not so good ways. So unfortunately, one part of me feels like, wow, like it feels good to hear from a man like, dang, y'all deal with that too? That's crazy. Like, because all we hear is y'all go to the barbershop and, you know, y'all talk, you talk to your boys and y'all good, but nah. So thank you.
Yeah, because I not to cut you off, no. I think for men, we can be a lot more choosy who, like, I know if I'm venting about a woman that I'm dealing with, it's certain homeboys I might not vent to because they might not be on the same maturity level as me. So I might already know the answer I'm going to get from him. Like, yo, she getting on my, man, fuck that bitch. And that's not really that's not the advice that I need right now. So I probably won't vent to that person because, I can't get the advice that I need from them. But I might vent to them about something else, like something that's work related. But yeah, like you said, that crying in the shower might be the difference between, being peaceful and putting your hands on somebody. So, sometimes you got to let it out.
Yeah. Okay. And I even appreciate that because before we get to a couple comments, because we have quite a few of them. So I really appreciate that point, Anthony, just because we, and I'm just saying we usually give men the charge of, y'all gonna pick and choose, the friends you want to talk to because you want to hear let's just go on out, don't worry about her type thing. But to hear that you also, on the flip side, may not want to hear that. You actually want to hear the raw and to help you work through an issue or problem, if it is girl related or whatever. So that's a good point. I'm gonna read a few of the comments that we have. So we have, do you find your homeboys are helpful when you need a safe space or that it fails to go deeper? So do y'all want to elaborate on that? I feel like y'all kind of touched a little bit. But
we can definitely. I'll jump on this one. Okay. So it's like you said, like you got certain homeboys, like their maturity level right there, right? Or in that specific space, whatever you're talking about, whether it's relationship. Like I had one homeboy, right, and he was dating this girl, and he was doing her kind of dirty or whatever the case may be. So I questioned her about it. I'm like, yo, I mean, shorty, all right, like what's like. Why you trip? Why you? And you know what he said to me with a straight face. He looked me in the face and said, like, yeah, like you ain't married, like you got it figured out. You ain't got the answers.
Oh wow.
Oh, all right. Then. I wanted to fight. I was ready to fight. I was like, all right, we gotta scrap this one out because that ain't how this. And so like you said, which friends you can talk to about certain stuff, and you kind of know, like, all right. He gonna give me a real answer, or he gonna give me some BS. I got one homeboy. I probably wouldn't talk to him about nothing other than Madden and sneakers. Listen, he just ain't the guy. He ain't the guy.
Yeah, it's some homeboys it's strictly on a sports, women type level. People. But yeah,
and he's good.
It's not deep.
Not a bad person.
Yeah, good person. It's just the conversation. You know what you're gonna get.
Listen, that's kind of the homeboys that we fussing about in the arguments, like, cause you want to go hang with Tyrone, but okay, so I'm getting it now. It's different levels.
You be like, I ain't gonna call him today.
Because you got to look at your relationships like a source of food, like a restaurant. If you want something or if you need something healthy, not to go to McDonald's. But we all might have that McDonald's friend, that person that if you need to go to the bar real quick, get some drinks for happy hour, just quick fun, you hit them up. But if you need somebody that you're going to actually have that conversation with to get you some growth, then you have those few friends. Like I know who I can hit up and get that from. Okay. And I think
same thing, right? And the flip side of that too, right? What friends you're not going to go to because sometimes you don't always want to hear the whole truth.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need nobody to tell you about yourself at the moment. Like I got one homeboy, I'm cool with, but I know he gonna put me in my place, and like I might not always need it. Like I might need somebody like, yeah, yo, be on some rah stuff for like 5 minutes, and then I call him 10 minutes later, like, yo, all right, now I got that out. Let me, like, I know he's gonna be like, he'll be like, bro, you wrong. You gotta fix yourself. No, you gotta check that. That ain't the way to do things. Like better. Like he gonna give me that conversation, and I don't always want that.
Okay, I can respect that. So I think this is when y'all were breaking down, like I think the first comment of when you were breaking down like different categories of friends, where Nina also said, preach brother, oh my God, because if I hear, oh, just work out one more time, I'm gonna scream. So that's kudos to y'all.
Exactly.
for, having different, different avenues and methods. And then okay, wait a minute. I don't know which one this was for, but she said, yo, you my homie for life. It is oh, okay, this is for Chris. Don't take it to your head. Here. Do not, Nina, careful. Okay. But she said it is absolutely okay to cry in the shower. And period. So yes, so it is okay to cry. And then I love that. That's a good little tip, like for men, because I get it, y'all raised and try not to cry that much and all or at all for some. So that's a good little tip in the shower. Because listen, I was just out legit. I have this hat on today because my hair is soaking wet. Y'all gotta come up with a Creed name for me, okay? Like Credisha or something, right? Because for real, I was out like boxing, bro. I was giving you jabs. I was giving you hooks, man. I was in the uppercuts. I was hitting it. My calories was out the roof today. You hear me? So
getting in that work.
Listen,
workout.
And I stretched, and we're gonna get there. Y'all gonna understand why I had to tell Anthony that I stretched today, because he gets on me. He gets on me.
Got to. Somebody got to.
Listen, all right. Let's move on. But so also, one last question from Nina right now is that she says, why keep homeboys though that doing stuff that you don't morally agree with? Ooh, it's quiet. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So I'm loyal almost to a fault. I'm loyal almost to a fault, right? Okay. And so like that one homeboy I said, I know I can't go to him with nothing serious, right? He and I have built a friendship and relationship. And just because of that, like, you just kind of gotta, like, it's like almost, he's like family, right? Okay. I treat you like family. You don't get to pick the cards you dealt. You just play cards, right? You don't get to pick your cards.
Okay.
You just play the hand you dealt. And he's one of them homeboys where it's like, no, I don't always agree with what he say and do, but he's a good dude. Like, I'm not taking nothing from him. And he and I have built a bond and a relationship. And I just have to put that relationship into perspective when it comes to certain things. So, but that don't stop me from checking him.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I can still check him. I mean, he might not hear it, but I still do it. And vice versa. I got friends who probably say, like, it's probably people out there like, oh, I can't call Chris on this. I don't feel like dealing with him and his foolishness today. He really played too much, whatever. But we still cool. It's no love lost. That's just what it is.
Okay. So, and then in that note, before Anthony comments on that one. So on that note, if you're saying that in a relationship, you're asking for us, because like I brought up before that y'all were talking about that, let's use Anthony's, that McDonald friend, right? So if that's probably who we're fussing about, not knowing that y'all categorize your friends too. Like, I know that, I guess as a woman, I've always like found myself in female, all female, groups or whatever, talking about this. And it seems like I'm the oddball out, where it's like, well, I have more, I had more than one best friend, and they're just different areas. I don't bring them all together unless it's a big celebration or whatever. And so I would have never thought that, men do that. So that's cool to know. So are you saying that, like, in a relationship, like, all right, y'all just asking for, just respect your McDonald's friend because it's a bond that you didn't build, and just leave it.
Yeah. And he only McDonald's. He the McDonald's friend. Like, we're not making Ruth Chris reservations with him.
Yeah. Plus,
we're not going to Capitol Grill with him.
Okay.
you know how to hang around and move around certain friends. Like, they've been in your life long enough where this friend is always going to be here to this level. They're going to impact your life at this level. You might have other friends that are way beyond that, but that this friend, this is what they give. They're giving just as much as you're getting. So for me, like Chris said, I'm gonna keep them in check if they do something out of pocket. Okay. But if it's nothing that's egregious, then there's no reason for me to, cut them off. Like, as long as I let them know, that's not cool, and they realize that's how I feel, I'm not joking about it, and I make that point, then we can move on. You don't have nothing to worry about.
Okay, and I can't help, because my mind, and I don't know why this is just coming to me. I feel like this in the spirit. Somebody out here need a little bit of this, because I keep asking, y'all know I'm single as a dollar bill, baby. But for whatever reason, I keep thinking to ask about, like, in, dating scenarios, right? So if you're, if y'all talking about that, you'll check the friend and all, which is good. So I think oftentimes also for women, that will feel like if there was a situation, it could have been who you're dating and your friend, your homeboy, they clashed some kind of way, you all went out or something. And either way, somehow your lady friend feels like you choosing your homeboy. Like, we love the joke and be like, y'all love your homeboys, which we'll get there. But y'all do love your homeboys. Y'all love y'all mans and them. Y'all really do. But are you saying that, so because in your mind that that you've categorized and like, listen, this is my McDonald's friend. Just, I know he ain't going, we didn't brought him out of his comfort zone. Just chill out. Are y'all asking us not to call him out on things? We just supposed to ride with you and respect the fact that you've categorized your McDonald's friends from your Ruth's Chris friends? That's just
because
okay.
I mean,
if that's what we're supposed to
do. The reason I think that's reasonable is because I've seen many different groups of women, best friends, and I've seen their dynamic. And there's, you always have every group of women. You got the ratchet one that still might be out here cheating on her boyfriend or doing what she does, and her homegirls know. her homegirls know, and they might not agree with the lifestyle, amongst themselves, but they still hang out with her. So I think to me, it's still it's just the equivalent of that. Like every girl got that homegirl where she got the food guy, she got the date guy, she got the dick guy, she got the head guy. And you don't say nothing to her because that's, she having fun. And some women even live vicariously through those other women.
This is true.
They on the phone with him, girl, what happened? He did what?
Girl, I know you lied. Okay, Anthony, since you want to, call us out, we didn't ask for that. But I'm going to still give y'all kudos because Nina and Sherry said, Sherry first said there's strength in y'all being able to admit to these things. So kudos to y'all. Also, Nina had said, well, that's good. A homeboy, going to tell you about yourself is critical. And then Nina says, I can respect that. History is a lot. Is there a point where history won't trump your progress? If you have to reach a level and they, they're not there, will they stay your McDonald's friend? So I think we kind of got a little bit of that where, yes, they'll stay McDonald's friend, but that's a very good
so
point.
It's kind of like Anthony said, as long as they don't say or do anything super egregious or like crazy, like you can kind of forgive or not, forgive and kind of be like, all right, that's just how they are. Now, if it's some things you just are non-negotiable, right? Like you violate, like for me, and I think it's for each person, and I kind of don't even want to do it because I don't want to call anybody out, but shoot, whatever, we be on. Like for me, if my homeboy tell me he's beating on a woman or beating on a girl or something, like, no, I can't rock with that.
Okay.
Like that's a deal breaker. I also don't have homeboys that don't take care of their kids.
Come on.
Right. I got homeboys that aren't with their baby mother, that don't get along with their baby mother. Their baby mother don't like them and they don't like their baby mother. And there's always some drama, but you cannot say they don't take care of their kids.
Okay. I'll take it.
So like you might not like it, but he take care of his kids.
We'll work on the drama part later, but at least
we
start with taking care of the kids.
So for me, I have certain crowds, like certain things like I can't overlook that. Like you too big for that, right? Like you too big to be like I got like if you can't go out to eat, like, we gotta go to the bar. Like I can't take you to the bar because you're always fighting. We 30, we over 30 now. Like all right, bro, I can't rock with that. Okay.
All right, I'll take that. And okay, so along the same line, Sherry said, do you ever feel like you outgrow those certain friends? As in, well, okay, go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, you outgrow them, and again, just because you outgrow them doesn't mean you have to cut them off or not. I mean, you just know how to deal with them, right? So,
yep.
If I just ain't hang with you every weekend. Like you, my homeboy, it might be all right. Every couple months I see you. We chop it up XYZ, but that we out here and me and my homeboys out and it's him. No, that might not be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and I think people take that wrong. Like if you outgrow somebody, doesn't necessarily mean you gotta cut them off or like not be cordial. Just because we're not on the same page don't mean we enemies.
Yeah, and then also,
go ahead.
Also, when it's not toxic, both parties, like if you outgrow somebody, it kind of naturally just gets to a level where you both know, y'all haven't discussed it or anything, but y'all might only see each other at when the homies hook up, birthdays, New Year's, it might be certain events that you always see each other at. It don't feel like any love is lost, but y'all not hanging out on a weekly basis because you've outgrown each other. But y'all still, you might hit each other up every once in a while, checking on each other, but that's it.
Okay. So
can I ask a question? Can we talk about that word toxic? Because I don't like it. I hate that word toxic.
I'm not a big fan of it, but it seems to be the language of the certain climate right now, the current climate.
And I just don't like the word because I feel like we misuse it and don't fully understand.
Okay, so there we go. So do you not like it because it's misused, or you don't like it because you don't see any validity or significance?
I don't like it because it's misused, and I think that we found a cliche word that everybody can use to say toxic masculinity, right?
Okay.
And what is toxic masculinity? Like truly. And I don't think anybody can really define it, because like if you say, then just say he's a male chauvinist. Just say he's misogynist. Don't say it's toxic. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I just feel like we don't use it properly. Like call people out. Like I'm not saying don't call people out on their BF. I'm just saying let's get off that bandwagon and stuff. Oh, that word just
Okay, I hear you. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, because I was going to jump on what he just said, because if you can point out toxic masculinity, I can point out toxic femininity. Like there's the flip coin to it, and I've heard women say that doesn't exist, or it's impossible for that to. You know how people say black people can't be racist. Some people say women can't be toxic, but I'm sorry, I've dealt with some. Like black people
cannot be racist. Sorry, they cannot be racist. We can be bigots. We can be prejudiced. We can be all kinds of stuff, but we cannot be racist. We don't have enough power to technically be racist.
And that's a fact. But they try to compare the two as if,
I'm prejudiced.
Can't be
I'm be honest. I'm prejudiced a little bit. I'm real prejudiced a lot of times. But I'm not racist. I can't be racist.
But Andy, you said they try to compare the two.
Yeah, like I've had that discussion where I was told I got into a debate with a feminist, and I'm not anti-feminism.
Gotcha.
I just think that the overall agenda does not really benefit Black women or Black love, for that matter. And it's hard for some Black feminists to accept that. That's just my opinion. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not anti-feminism.
That's okay.
It's just, but see, we live in a day and age where if you disagree with something, you're considered a hater. It's like, you're being, then that's when they misuse the word. Oh, you're being toxic. I'm not being toxic. I'm just pointing out something that, I don't agree with. And that's just my opinion with, some things of the feminist movement.
So now if we stay right there, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to stay that long, but I can't move on without that. So do you want to expound? You can say no, it's fine. It doesn't mean anything. But do you want to expound on? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can. So I basically said that. I said there are
Anthony,
traits.
Before you go, tread lightly, bro. Tread lightly.
I am. I'm trying to make sure I watch my words, because I'm not trying to get canceled. I ain't even start yet to get canceled. So
I'm not even nobody. I'll be canceled.
I gotta watch my words. So we got into the discussion, and she was pointing out several traits of toxic masculinity and how I could be doing it and I wouldn't even know. So then I said, okay. I said that could be the case. I said, but there are also some traits of different, women demographics that is also toxic. And she was like, no, sorry. Y'all run the world, this, that, and the third. Women can't be toxic. We don't have toxic femininity. That doesn't exist. So I just was like, see, I can't agree with that. That's too extreme for me. Like I've dated women who were toxic. Like they did certain things because they enjoyed getting a rile out of me. And that by definition is toxic. So I'm like, I just can't agree with that. And then I've also seen traits of women that I haven't dated, but others have dated, they've had children. Some of the parents where I work, like I've seen certain things where I'm just like, yo, that's hella toxic. And it's something that not all women, but different subset groups of women do often.
Okay,
So.
and I can take that. And you know what I'm hearing? Actually, what I'm hearing is that, or not even what I'm hearing, but at least with the point of like the parents, right? So I could imagine way back when I worked in the school district, but either way of just observing parents, and you realize you can almost tell the story, like especially if you already know the student or their child.
Yep.
You can almost tell the story of like, ooh, he did this, and now she liked this, and she didn't let go of that, and he liked this, and that was coming out to the right. So I get that. So it's a playoff, but what I will speak to, because absolutely, you know, entitled to your opinion. So, and it's funny because Sherry said you can agree to disagree, but I will say that it sucks to hear, because I'm a conversationalist, and so I like just talk. It's okay, just get it out. You know, opinions will differ. That's the beauty of it.
Use your words.
Right. And then as you talk more, right? So that's definitely the platform here is talk. We have to get our people back to talking, freely expressing, and then you're still supposed to elevate. So at some point then, to make sure that you bring some type of, something to back what you're saying. So your first conversation with somebody, all right, sure, that's your brainstorming phase. Go and get that out. But the next time we talk, baby, you better have something, substantial behind it, right? So I can take that. I know everybody has their different levels and all, but what I absolutely loathe to hear, and is really usually around race, but so even to hear between the toxic masculinity versus the toxic femininity. So to hear that one doesn't exist and like that only one exists and not the other, that makes me itch a little, because it's like, well, unfortunately, but both exist. Like we just like sort of back to like Chris. I know he said that. Can we just cancel that word altogether? And we can't, because it really holds. Unfortunately, it's not that I want it to, but it holds some weight. The word toxic. I know when I use it, I mean it. Like it, baby. I didn't dated some toxic. Hell, I didn't been in raised in a household with some toxic. Amen. So toxic exists, but I do completely understand the point of that it's misused and overly used and utilized, and so it unfortunately might have lost some of its punch when we say it, or from certain people in certain arenas. So I get that, but to back to where y'all were breaking down just like your group of friends, we have a question which, hey, people got questions. So can you notice the toxic trait, or can you point out the toxic masculinity in your friend groups? Yeah, we can do that one first, and then Oh,
that's easy.
Okay.
That's easy. For me and my close-knit group of friends, guy friends, there are several who I would say years after I graduated college, actually from college up until now,
okay,
they could never understand, because I have several female friends that I'm very close with, best friends. Okay. And there's some people who are stuck in that mindset of it's impossible for a man and a woman to have a platonic relationship where, you've never done anything, there's nothing going on. And so like, I'll be hanging out with my homeboys and I'll be like, all right, y'all, I'm about to catch y'all later. I'm about to link up with, my homegirl, and they're like, oh, what y'all getting into, and then they're insinuating that is, and I'm like, nah, we just, we're going out for drinks. And then what y'all gonna do?
Right.
Nothing. Like,
go home. I'm going to my house. She's going to hers.
Just like Barney had to been dating Baby, but I get it. Like it just, they just.
Might anyway. That was his little boo.
And not with her brother there. BJ was.
That was her little boo. BJ. He acted like he was about it, but he wasn't really about it.
He wasn't really
about it. Hard up. What you talking about?
BJ, that's Justin Bieber right there.
What?
Just switch the initials. That's Justin Bieber right there. He looked like, he got the tats now. BJ wasn't about it.
What? He had on the chops with the man. Oh, anyway, I will not let y'all. Wow. Okay. Y'all just came down a notch. Moving on. So also with that same respect, before the Barney comment, sorry. Can you notice have you noticed the toxic traits within yourself, and what do you do to self-improve?
You want to take that one, Chris?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I'll go next.
So yeah, I realize it's all about self-reflection, right? So if you can look in the mirror and then I think that's part of maturity, self-reflection, self-awareness, right? All stuff I learned from my good friend. That's what I call my therapist, my friend.
There you go.
Like she taught me to be more self-aware, and so I can kind of identify things like, Chris, reason that didn't work out, or reason that didn't look good is because you maybe need to fix this or change that. So absolutely, but I think that's a level of maturity that it takes a lot of people a long time to reach to be able to be self-reflective and self-aware and say, you know what, maybe I'm the problem.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe my mouth is really too slick, or maybe my attitude is really too off-putting, or whatever the case may be, or maybe I don't know how to talk to people when it comes to certain situations. Like, and I think that's a maturity thing. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what your problem is, right? We all know what our problem is. I mean, we may not want to acknowledge it.
Okay.
We may not want to accept it.
Okay.
But you know what it is. Like, okay, all right, that's me. My bad. That's me. All right,
okay. I'm letting Anthony go, and I have a question to something that you said. Go ahead, Anthony.
So for me, I'll give you two. I'll give you a bonus one. For me, one of my toxic traits was that I wouldn't initially always dwell on the little things. Like, I have a temper. So because over the years I've had to, control that, and I'm good now. Like I'm good at controlling my temper. I have my outlets of how, I make sure I stay stress-free. But the younger me, things would bother me, and I would talk myself out of tripping over it. Instead of just, explaining to the person, I don't like this, so they wouldn't do it again, I'd just be like, well, you know what? Wasn't even a big deal. I'm not going to trip over it. And then it's done again, and then it becomes a big deal, and I'm ready to flip over it, but it's not really completely their fault because I never said anything. So I had to learn how to, address things initially. Like, as soon as I'm facing that issue, all right, I'm gonna say it, and then I see how you move from there. And then my other toxic trait would be I had to learn to apologize, or I had to learn not to always respond the way I want to respond, whether it be in relationships or in friendships, because I don't like double standards. So if somebody is getting on me for something that I know they've done, I had to learn that it doesn't always help to be like, well, you did it, or, well, you did this because my memory is good with it too. So I'll be like, well, on September the 7th, 2017, you did this. Like, you don't remember that? And that doesn't really help the situation. Like, granted, I could be completely right, and I'm presenting facts, but that doesn't always help the situation. That can get tiring quick. So I had to learn that about myself. Like, I can't always point the finger. Sometimes I just get like, all right, I'm sorry, my bad. Even though I know, like, you did it, or that's something that you do, but I just got to apologize for what I'm doing and keep it moving.
Okay. And boy, it's not many times that I'm a little speechless, but that's good. I appreciate that. So for you, in order for you to get to this place, and even Chris mentioned about like self-reflection and all, what is something that, and I can ask this now. What's something that you would say either help you, or that I guess now in the place that you are now, that you could say to, your fellow comrade, right? Like, that would help jumpstart the self-reflection as a man that's, necessary in this day in order for us all, to grow and to grow.
That's a good question. I would say more men you got to be truthful with yourself. Like, and that could go both ways, but we're talking about the men. So I'm gonna just say you got to be more truthful with yourself, hold yourself accountable, because I've met guys, I've met people who, they don't want to do that. They don't want to hold themselves accountable. So they say or do something, they move a certain way, and their ego prevents them from being like, nah, you fucked up.
Okay.
Like, like, nah, homeboy. Like, you gotta, man in the mirror. You gotta look at yourself and hold yourself accountable sometimes. You gotta, know your truth.
Okay.
And listen to it.
Yeah, right. And just like you say, honesty is definitely the biggest thing, right? And if you can't be honest with yourself, like, then like that's the real problem. Like, you got to be able to be honest with yourself, and take a look at the man in the mirror. So you got to be able to take a look at the man in the mirror, right?
Right. No, that's good, and that brings me to what my follow-up question for that. What now both of what you have said is that, what both of you have said is, what if, because I know that, like, so Chris said this earlier. He said, everybody know what your thing is, right? You may not want to acknowledge, you may not want to accept it, which I get. I absolutely live with that. But I feel like my level of toxic that I've experienced is like, woo, child, I don't even think they know, right? So what are your thoughts when you think of somebody that truly just may not know? How do you try to get on that path of figuring out what your stuff is? Like, okay, I didn't heard enough people say it. Or maybe, I don't know, like,
take that constructive criticism. You gotta, if people are saying it, then they're obviously saying it for a reason.
Okay.
And if it's something that you can benefit positive in a positive light from, then why not take that advice? I can see if a bunch of people are telling you to do something negative, then of course we know, we're adults, not to move that way. But if people are giving you constructive criticism, and that's one thing a lot of adults struggle with, is taking constructive criticism. This age of social media, this age of, this generation, we tend to think constructive criticism is the person's hating on you. Like, somebody says something and you're automatically like, oh, you a hater. Right. Like, that's everybody. And because, a lot of people troll, a lot of people, do say certain things nowadays to get a rile out of you. But a lot of times it's just constructive criticism. You gotta learn how to weed out, what's positive and what's negative.
Thank you for defining troll, by the way, because I figured I had it, but it was really for everybody, asking for a friend kind of thing. But
gotcha.
Right. And so I hate this sounds so. I feel like I'm on, like, how you take them online classes and you got to do discussion board. You be like, I agree with what Anthony said, because that's what I feel like, right? But no, exactly what he said. So you have to be able to take what people tell you, and it's like anything else, right? You got to be able to chew the meat and spit the bones. So my thing for my family and people is, if there was nothing to talk about, there would be nothing to talk about, right? So if you didn't have to check me being wrong in whatever area or aspect I was wrong in, right, I wouldn't have to be mad at you for how you said it or what you said, right? About, like, I had to take the source and take the meat, like, Chris, yeah, you really was tripping last week, and no, your mother shouldn't have cussed you out for tripping at family dinner on Sunday, but you definitely was out of pot, you was out of line, and no, your homeboy shouldn't have never pulled you up, but you got drunk and was talking about you real reckless. Like, you gotta watch how you drinking and whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to chew the meat and spit the bone, so to speak. Like, somebody telling you wrong, like, all right, man, I might be. And my thing, right? And see, maybe this is from the military, especially when people correct me. Like, if I was wrong, I ain't never want to have to be corrected again. Like, I did not want you to have to come back to me like, yo, I told you before. Now, like, I did not want that. That's the last thing I want. So I took heat. Like, I ain't like the way he got in my face, but he was right. I shouldn't have said or did or whatever the case may be.
Okay, no, thank you for that. That's actually a really good point. And I have a question, and then I feel like I want to ask Nina this question that she asked a little bit ago after I asked this one. So I don't know if you'll probably wind up answering that or not. But so I gotta ask it. So as a Black man, and I'm speaking in general, so whatever area of life comes to mind for you, do you feel protected? Why?
That's easy.
Okay.
That's easy. And it's easy because it's hard, right? And the answer is no.
Okay.
And I guess I'll reference something I heard TD Jakes talking about one time.
Come on, TD.
Right. And he says that young men, especially Black men, we, for the most part,
there's no real like guide on how to be a man. Right? As a young woman, you always get Barbies, you get kitchen sets and things of that nature. And they tell you that's what girls supposed to do, that's what they're supposed to be, that's how they're supposed to function, right? Like you don't see like there's no like Barbie for boys, right?
Okay.
Like, so this is how you be a Ken. This is how you be a man. You be a father and you drive a car, you go to work and you take care, look out. So that's one piece of it, right? The other piece is we can't ignore the social climate, right, that we're in right now. So you take that, you couple that with all of the systemic racism and things of that nature that exist, and all of those issues that people fight and have to deal with, and and all. Like when you take all of that and put it all together, it's just like, all right. And I think I posted it on my Insta before. Like, why do you hate me so much?
Mm. Wow.
Like, why? Like, what is it about me? Like, and again, speaking like being in the military, like, you know what it feels like to be called a nigga in uniform? Mm. Like, I'm doing like the most patriotic American thing I could do. It's supposed to be, and I'm still like, really? That's where we at. And then I'm gonna use my least favorite word. Then toxic femininity, right? And you come home and then you got like niggas ain't and this, that, and the third, and you got to deal with you got to deal and fight with all of that on top of just life. Like, and I don't think black women can say the same thing, right? I think as a black man, we're supposed to protect black women at all costs. Mm-hmm. I think black women are God, like that. Like Earth came from like history shows. Africa is the cradle of life. I mean, the black woman created like life. So, even the ones you're not attracted to, you gotta love them and treat them respect, right? Right? Even the ones you don't like, even the ugly ones, you're like, you're a queen or ugly. You queen or ugly, but you're all right with me.
Hence why he gets on my last nerve, y'all. Okay. Thank you, Chris. It was great up until then. So, Anthony.
Do I feel protected? More no than yes. Like Chris basically said everything that needed to be said. I recently, not too long ago, within the last year, just when I got my wisdoms pulled, I get off of work late, went to Rite Aid to get some ice cream because I couldn't eat anything else. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I get pulled over by a undercover, a SUV, and I think it was like a all black Charger or something. And it's about 7, non-uniform police officers. And I end up zip tied on the ground because I fit a description. And, I took the pictures of the bruises on my wrist. And that's the crazy thing is that's not something new for me, like, because it's not the first time. So do I feel protected? No, but I definitely would say I know I'm supported. Black women definitely, y'all hold us down, but I can't say that I feel protected. There's times where I feel protected, but for the most part, no.
First and foremost, I would be remiss not to be me in this moment and acknowledge your experience and to apologize on behalf of all parties involved that, created this horrific experience for you, experiences, plural. I humbly apologize and I am truly sorry.
I appreciate it.
And furthermore, I thank you for
definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. She got churned. All right. And so I thank you also for distinguishing between protected and supported. That was my next question, but I wanted to actually interject in between there because Nina asked a little while ago and said, so with both of what you said, do you feel as if you are always under a microscope waiting for you to F up?
As far as like being a black male?
Just how
or just yeah, definitely. I feel like because of how I look, there's a lens that's already on me. And if I don't move a certain way, if I don't do extra, if I don't go above and beyond, if I don't stay that straight and narrow at all times, at any moment, But then again, like there's sometimes where even with doing everything to a T, dotting every I and crossing every T, there's still sometimes where you just might fit a description. You might be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you have to now contain yourself. You might be upset and you might want to flip out, but if you do, it's going to be perceived as you threatening their life, even though you might not even have a weapon on you. You got you're in a seatbelt. You're standing. You're hovering above me with a weapon. So I don't know how I'm the threat. So,
right.
It's one of those things. It's tricky. It's tricky maneuvering through it, but you kind of learn along the way.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Right. And I kind of agree with that. But I don't think under a microscope, I think you just have to always be on your P's and Q's, right? Because I don't think there's people waiting for you to fail, but it's just so much against you in order for you to fail that you got to kind of do that extra, be more, in order to not live up to the status quo, right? To not live up to, you just a thug or whatever, XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like an extra microscope, but I just think it's so much pressure naturally just being and existing.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Y'all know me outside of the B-Mix. The fact that y'all keep getting me quiet, I don't like it, but I thoroughly appreciate it because y'all are dropping some stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that we are catching a lot of what has been said already. I just hope we're catching it. As there are some things, and I'm probably gonna revisit this and run with this, probably getting deeper into this next week on just what I took from this conversation. Because a lot of it, aligns with literally parallel to a lot of what I've talked about in past episodes, and just what we need to talk more about. With all that being said, there was a question a little bit ago of again, giving kudos for both of you in partaking in therapy for yourselves, right? And so the question was, do you encourage your friends, your male friends, but I'll just say friends in general, but it definitely says your boys, to consider it at least? Does this conversation come up, or has it come up? If it hasn't, how do you see?
It definitely has for me. I've actually, since I've been in therapy, my oldest brother has asked me about it, and I've supported his decision. I've told him, I think he should do it. One of my best friends from college, I told him the same thing, and he's about to start. So it's definitely a conversation that I've been having with more of my friends, and I've told them, if you have that, that option on your insurance, go for it. Because a lot of us don't know that it's available to us, sometimes damn near for free. We just have to, actually search and do the research and find out. And then boom, you have yourself a therapist.
Perfect. And I love that you both said in your way that you have not just, I love, Chris said, I know you call your therapist your friend, but just in a way that it's not necessarily someone, yes, it is a stranger, because I know that sometimes that's the hang up. I don't want to talk to somebody I don't know, but to break that stigma is that's probably better sometimes, because we keep being betrayed by only the people that we know, so if the hurt comes from, confiding in someone and them, betraying that trust, and misusing that information, I completely get that. So, men, especially Black men, please, 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 seek therapy. It's beneficial to us all. Also, because and keep in mind that as you speak to someone that does not know you, they have gone through training and schooling and all to help guide you through, but it is for you to start to talk to you. We have to get out of the mindset of, that person that talking to himself. Listen, I've always been the person when I see that person talking to himself, baby, go on, get it out. Go on. Y'all have a good time and talk. Cause so that is just my plea to, our men out there to say that. So And thank you, Sherry. We need someone that's unbiased. That's the key point of it, being someone that you do not know. So
yep.
To switch it up a little bit, we got a little bit more time left together, right? Now I just feel like I could say this because as men, y'all are almost like naturally inclined to like sports. I actually appreciate, because I didn't know how I was going to throw this in there. I appreciate that the both of you have mentioned it some kind of way that, you know, you have that, I can't get away from the McDonald's friend. I think I kind of love that. So thank you.
Yeah, you know that dollar menu friend. Where you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get turn up, turn down for what? You know, y'all gonna link up, y'all gonna go out for drinks. You know exactly what you're gonna get.
Ladies, can y'all please figure out if y'all got if we got the babies or if we dating the men that are considered the McDonald's friend of the group? Like, can we talk about this? We need a debrief after this. But because I feel like that's all that's coming to mind. Like, oh man, we have a group of Chris friends because all my girls, I only know. Anywho.
If it turned into a meme, just give me a shout out.
Listen, you know it because
yes, add me and give me some credit.
Because but yeah, so y'all are it's like you're naturally inclined to like sports. So I'm gonna just ask, is it? I'm not gonna assume. Is it a tough place to be in right now? I mean, this isn't the first time that we've seen, you know, the racial tension spill over, right? Into it's been going forever, we know that, but really getting the some more limelight more recently. Shout out to Kat. I'm gonna get there. But do you feel hung up? Do you feel away now? What were your thoughts about the NBA boycott? Like, were you hurt? We like, I need this game, baby? Like, what?
Yeah, listen. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I felt like the boycott was phony. I felt like it was what, a weekend, 2 days? It wasn't long enough. I felt like
okay, it wasn't long enough.
We need to hit them in the pockets and really show them, you know, and then they say they got these initiatives with the NBA Players Association and the NFL Players Association, got all this stuff going on that they trying to help and get people doing stuff. But like, so it's kind of the same way I feel about and I'm gonna say this and kind of be like, I might ruffle a couple feathers with this one, right? So I went to a couple of the protests recently when George Floyd first happened and Breonna Taylor and stuff. When they first happened, you know, we had a bunch of protests here in Baltimore, and I made it a purpose to go out from a photographer's standpoint. I went out there and took pictures and I documented it. So shout out again, shameless plug, at CBV Photography on Instagram. Check out some of my work. And I was upset and I was torn because I was like, why is there so many white people here at these protests? And so I was like, Chris, why are you tripping like that? I said, because I felt like it watered it down. And they was like, we need allies in this movement, right? And so then it caused me to ask myself, what's a true ally, right? What is an ally? An ally is somebody who gives up or forfeits some of their power or their prestige or they forfeit something to them that means something to them to help advance my cause, right? And I just wasn't convinced that the NBA as a whole was in alliance with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? And not Black Lives Matter, the organization, not Black Lives Matter, the slogan, but like the actual belief and understanding and the reality that Black Lives Matter, right? And I'm definitely pissy with the NFL, right? And I'm a huge NFL fan because you bastardized.
We're gonna get to that.
Bastardized this man.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you want to release these half-baked publicity stunt statements.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Thank you. It feels very good to hear a Black man say these things. It feels amazing. I love sports. I'm never good. I think that's when my Girl Scout kicks in, and I ain't good at, you know, kicking out statistics. I love how y'all can throw stats out real good. That ain't my thing. But I love me a good sports game, sports everything, right? And at least I know what I'm watching, right? At the least. So it feels good though, you know, because I was thinking like, well, maybe for me, like I'm hurt, you know, in a way, and feel like all of this is just a show, because I actually honestly recall speaking to my brother and I was like, final started, and I'm like, you know, I already NFL, blah, 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 and NBA now. He's like, no, because, you know, they don't play. I'm not convinced. So it feels very good to hear a Black man. Again, not that I like that. I wish this was not true, but it really is what it is. And so Anthony, were you gonna say something about the NBA boycott?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Chris. The NBA boycott definitely was disappointing. I feel like a lot more could have been done. I get that, it was something that it happened. Like none of us saw it coming. So it's kind of difficult to just, kind of say what they should have done. And I will say they are far better along the lines of doing, moving with the movement than the NFL. Like the NFL is just fucking the money all the way up. But the NBA isn't perfect, but they've been making some small progress. And I'm just at the point where it's like, I'm just tired because I still haven't watched the video. And, because I already know what it's going to do to me. So I'm at the point now where I'm not in a rush to watch the videos of, these unfortunate brothers and sisters that we're losing. Yeah. Because I know what type of mood it's going to put me in. But like Chris said, we got to keep at it.
It puts you in the kind of mood like back in the day after you watched Rosewood, you couldn't go to work with your coworkers of lesser pigmentation because you go to work mad as all outdoors, wanting to punch people, wanting to act out.
That's exactly how I am. Like when a slavery movie comes out, people look at me like I'm crazy when I'm not in a rush to go see it because one, I know the story already. It's not like it's gonna have a different ending. It's not like when we get to the end of the movie, slavery has ended in a surprise twist. Like no, like it's I already know what's going on, so there's no reason for me to rush to it because I might not be ready to be in that mood yet.
Exactly, and that's exactly it. I thank you for that too, Anthony, of knowing the importance of protecting, and that translates to protecting your energy, protecting your space, protecting your peace. Even on the journey of, seeking your own peace, right? So wherever you are in your journey, if you don't feel like you are fully at peace yet, which truthfully, anyone that's seeking peace, I don't believe you ever fully feel at peace, just as if anyone that's truly on the path of healing, you never say, oh, I'm healed. The last guy, the guy I told y'all about a long time ago, child. I just remember,
exactly.
You ain't healed, because that tells me that I'm the one that really is in a great place of healing, and I'll always say I'm healing. I never say, oh, I'm healed, I'm good, I'm moved on. No, baby, because it might be something else than mommy. Anyway, but thank you for saying that, because that's exactly what that means. That translates over to that. So with that, and this is really blowing my mind to hear y'all. Because I'll be honest, I'm not saying that I jumped for joy for the NBA boycott, but I was happy to see it, right? But until y'all are saying it now, it didn't even dawn on me to be like, more could have been done, this and the third. Like I was just like, okay, like, right? I kind of just took it, right? Like, all right, like somebody threw some scraps. I was like, okay, thank you. I put it in my pocket, I guess. So does that mean that, and you don't have, it's up to you if you want to answer personally, if you canceled NFL for Cat, at least since Cat, or if you plan to, the first, we had week 1 right now, like with the Texans and somebody playing tonight, like
the Texans and the Chiefs are playing right now.
I'm in a rock and a hard place because
talk about it.
I haven't watched the full football game since then, and I don't really have any plans on watching any, but I hear that Lamar Jackson is killing it for my team, so it's a bittersweet moment because I try to keep up with the Ravens because of I'm trying to support our new black quarterback, but at the same time I don't like with everything that encompasses the NFL and what they're doing right now. So yeah.
All right, Chris.
I didn't cancel the NFL. I had like a little fake beef with him for a little bit. And then some of the, when you get rid of some of the surface layer stuff about Kaepernick, right? Like his contract, like he opted out of the contract. So pieces of that, like little pieces like that, make a difference in why. But the overall stance that the NFL is taking now, and we support Black lives and this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada. But when he was saying it, like where was that energy at then? Like we weren't about no action back then. Now all of a sudden, and so it's kind of like you bastardize this guy for saying something that now you're saying. That's my same point with legalizing marijuana. Y'all ruin people's lives. You ruin people's lives behind this, and now you get ready to capitalize and make all this money off of it. Like, I got a beef with that. Like, what you gonna do to fix? What you gonna do to fix the damage that you've already done? And my same point goes for Kaepernick and other players who were kneeling, XYZ, right? Like, what are you going to do to fix or to convince the owners, to convince the other fans, to convince the players that disagree, like that Black lives truly matter? Not so much that he was right, but that you were wrong.
Right? How about there it is? That's
big
facts.
Like acknowledge this. Like America. We so quick to say never forget 9/11, but we tell people get over slavery, or no, that wasn't me, that wasn't my family.
Yeah.
It wasn't like so we gotta be able to like atone properly, and then I can accept the NFL. I can accept Roger Goodell getting on TV saying whatever. I can accept the commercial with all the different players saying Black Lives Matter. We stand together in unison. Like, nah, where was that unison? 2-3 years ago,
right?
When you were letting the president get those son of bitches off the field and things of that nature. Like, where was all that energy, right?
Yep. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that feedback. So much more than you really can even imagine. And so, so because my brain is like ping, 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 ping. So with my brain going ping, 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 right? This is something that I have vocalized a few times, but I'm gonna just get on your nerves right now. If you can go with me to a place, imagine, close your eyes even if you need to, right? And imagine us having our own leagues, like for real. How that place? How do we cancel NFL, cancel NBA? I don't care. I'm still gonna say it, like, because I try to be like, well, cancel NFL. No, cancel them all. Can't cancel hockey, all of that. NH, everybody.
Well,
NBL, all of them. Like, how do we get to that? How do we even start in that direction? Like,
well, one, we gotta get better with our money. Like, we gotta get better with the usage of our money, keeping our money amongst ourselves, supporting each other. Black businesses have to represent themselves better. That's a deep, conversation. But yeah, we got to get better with money management. Like my students, I try to teach them that when you come across some money, the first thing you should do is not think about how you should spend it. Put some of that away. Like our kids, the children that we bring into this world, they have this mentality of, as soon as they get some money, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna get this, and then they don't have the money anymore. And then they turn into adults, and that bad habit matriculates into bad credit, debt, or not having any type of, stock or investments or equity.
Talk about it. That's good. And we definitely need a follow-up conversation about that. I definitely plan to, at some point, get some folks on just to, we have to break the idea of that. Because I was about to call it what I know people call it, but I don't even want to hold on to that any longer. That we have to break the idea that that's the boring conversation to have. That's, talk about equity, talk about investments. We have to get out of that, just like we have to break and it's starting to break. I will say that I have to try to give credit where it's due, that entrepreneurship used to be such a huge word, like the whole screen in our minds we would think of it, because I'm definitely guilty of it. The entrepreneurship was what we used to call an SAT word. That's big. Oh my goodness, I ain't no way I could begin to even spell that. That's just so huge. And that was like, I mean, not that I can spell in my sleep, but it's not that it's a smaller word either, but it's more attainable. And so, like, for our people, we have to break the mold of what we put up on a pedestal, as in believing for our own people, for our own selves, that we cannot achieve it. We have to stop thinking that I can't have my own business, that that my neighbor can't have their own business, my relative, my friend, whomever, my significant other can't have their own business because they're Black, because the system is against us. Okay, but both actually can exist. We already know one exists. The given, when we talk about math equation, the given is that the system is against us. We get that. But then when we start penetrating certain parts of the system to make it work for us, isn't that the point? Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? Like, you kind of supposed to work with what I know Chris said, he mentioned earlier about like just the cards kind of that you're handed. So how do we flip that? But even more so of when we talk about entrepreneurship right now, I want to take the time out. I know, and I appreciate that Chris plugged his in, but I actually want the both of you actually have your own hustle, your own business going. So Chris, you can come in, but Anthony, I'm gonna definitely put you on the spot, because if you weren't gonna say it, I was definitely fit to throw it out there, because I'm a current client rather. So please, by all means, let the people know what you do.
Yes, I am a massage therapist. I've been doing massage therapy for about 8 years now. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to run outside real quick. But yeah, I've been doing massage therapy for about 8 years now. I currently don't have a professional page because due to a name and the previous place I worked at, some legal things that I'm trying to work out. So I'm hoping to have that done and finished with by December, and I should have a professional page come up. But yeah, I do relaxation, deep tissue, reflexology, shiatsu, craniosacral, sports, a few different modalities. So, just Mr. Supplier 88. That's my, IG, Twitter handle. And if you DM me on IG, I can give you the information and we can talk about something.
That's good. Thank you.
And I'm not, just to put it out there, I'm not the massage therapist that you see on the videos where they rubbing on the oil and it look like a sex scene. That's an actual massage modality, but it really shouldn't be filmed. But that's a whole nother discussion right there. That's a whole nother discussion right there.
So we got options, y'all. That's what I'm saying. And again, because I appreciate that plug there, because you have both male and female clients, correct? And
yes.
That identifies in between. I'm sorry. Let me not leave anyone out. I don't want to.
Listen, it is 2020 and the B-Mix show will be canceled.
Y'all know I am all about inclusion. You
will be canceled.
Listen, I just want to be very clear, but I wanted to make that known because I know that immediately. And I don't even want to say I know that. I think that I was guilty of feeling like, oh, it's a male masseuse. So, I wonder if, I was just thinking in my own mind, how do I help make sure that I push it that, males would want to.
And just a quick correction. I'm actually a massage therapist. I'm not a masseuse. So, just to.
They don't like, listen, they get that word. That word is, that would be.
And I apologize. Thank you.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No.
We were taught, and I graduated from, shout out to BSOM, Baltimore School of Massage. They're now called, I think, Steiner Institute now. But we were taught in school that not to let people call you a masseuse because that gives the connotation that you give happy endings.
Really?
So, yeah, that's the backdrop behind that. I'm professional.
Call me a masseuse then.
Sorry. Thank you. Y'all see how easily I just took that constructive criticism on the show? I could have been like, wait a minute now, don't. No. I want to take that because one, I want to first of all be at the bare minimum. I want to be respectful to your craft because as y'all can see, y'all have no idea. He is very knowledgeable about his stuff, for real. His craft, his passion, very, very knowledgeable to the point where, and I think that y'all know I've said this before on the show plenty of times actually, that we're in the day and age of put it plain. So I don't know, I got to hashtag that or something. Put it plain ministry. Amen. It just has got to be.
I appreciate you.
Man, what? It just got to be, very clear and concise, because listen, us millennials, I don't know about y'all, but I be needing it. I can be brilliant, but I also can be very slow at times. So I just break it down for me and go on. If you want me to get it, go and break it down for me. But so I thank you for that. Also, like I said, he's very knowledgeable. So y'all be sure, again, at Mr. Supplier, and I know we was joking about that earlier. It's no other type of supply, y'all. I don't know what else y'all in mind, but I said,
well, back in the day, I used to sell bootleg movies. I used to sell CDs, DVDs. I was anything I could move. I was.
Okay, so we're not gonna put that. Okay, thank you, Chris. If you want to put your business on here, please, because.
All right. So yeah, I do photography. At CBV, like my name and my initials, photography on Instagram and on Facebook. I try to specialize in portraits. However, I'm finding that I like more journalistic photography now. I still do portrait photography. So hit me up. And a small note, back to entrepreneurship. Like, entrepreneurship is not like, I think we use that as another word that we like, not as another concept that we're beginning, that even though so many people are doing it and are being successful, that we try to force feed on everybody.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's the reality. Like, some people are meant to be worker bees.
Yes.
They're meant to go to work.
That's okay.
And that works for them. Because entrepreneurship is everything but easy. And it will suck the life and the fun out of something you love. And when you have to turn it into a business and work it and operate it, and you can't do it for fun, you have to be so serious about it.
Big facts.
So anyway, so that's my small 2 cents on that. But yeah, hit me up. I really like shooting. I like shooting fun stuff like parades and party, like that kind of stuff. Weddings and stuff are fun. It's nice to see the glitz and glamour, but I like to be like in the midst of a protest, watching the police shoot fire, canisters at people, and watch the protesters throw the canisters back and stuff like that. And shout out to the local photographers and artists. Huge shout out to Devin Allen for being featured on Time Magazine's cover twice. And he's from West Baltimore, and dude is definitely in the trenches. He's definitely from, like, he's a homebody, real humble, real smart, knowledgeable, great guy. And he's doing, like, and not only is he on his grind and hustling, but like he's also reaching back and teaching kids. Like, every time I've seen him in the past, like 2 or 3 years, he's got a bunch of kids with him with cameras, and he's teaching them, and and pushing the craft and the art of photography. So just wanted to do a shameless plug to photographers and especially to local photographers.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. Actually, I love it. And that's exactly, I mean, it's just that easy, y'all, of doing just that. So a way, and I won't say the way, but one of the ways to support, one of our own businesses, one of our own, just one of our own, like, that is the whole point right now, is to support our own. So if it is, even if you're not looking to get a massage right now, if you're not looking, to have any type of photography done, go to the pages, follow them, and share them out. That's the whole point. Chris did not have to, plug in about it, but yet that's it. That when we're in conversation, when we're doing just this, it is the point of, just saying, hey, oh shoot, you're into this, you need that. Well, I know such and such. And with that extra of, right behind it of he's a this, he does that, like, it doesn't hurt. We have to stop feeling like, I mean, come on, y'all, we can stay on this a long time. We have to stop feeling like I have to keep my supply. I can't get away from the word supplier. My supplier. Like, I have to keep.
Oh, can I give another plug when you finish?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
So because you mentioned supplier again, separate from the massage business, I actually sell toys. So ladies, if during the quarantine you'd like to stay out of trouble, or you want to make sure that you don't get that late text or send that late text, I do provide I sell toys. So you can hit me up on Mr. Supplier 88 at Mr. Supplier.
Okay, hustle man
on IG.
Hustle man.
On IG.
You see
and the massage therapy, I just started a membership VIP package, where it comes with a kimono, it comes with refreshments. You also get bottomless mimosas at the moment. So, that might be something that, if you want to wine and dine.
I'm about to help you come up with a marketing strategy. We can combine the two businesses, if you know what I mean.
Not finding them disgusting. Her client can decide to combine the two. They don't have to be combined. Disgusting. Anyway, because I'm not about to let y'all see how bad they really do.
That's why I said separate.
Exactly. Thank you. Not listen to Chris. Do not listen to Chris. And y'all can follow him and talk to him about photography and all, but other than that, don't listen to Chris. He's definitely no. Even though Nina definitely said you are her homie for life. I tried to tell you. I tried to forewarn Nina and tell her don't say that.
Hey, friend.
Okay.
Like, hey, cousin.
And so I want to share this comment before we get out of here. So Imani says this has to be something that this generation, has to be responsible for, because our parents' weren't even the smallest bit aware of these habits. We now know, so we have to educate every generation behind us and so on. To educate more and more is necessary. So that is I won't even just pinpoint any of all things actually that you both have spoken to throughout the duration of our conversation tonight. I applaud you both. I appreciate you because, and I mean this in no way, because I'm a very respectable and respectful person. So I really mean this with love, because to me, it's what's important for right now, that you are, not that you are average, but you're the average Joes. Like, it's not like, you are both these CEOs and these people that seem so unattainable. Like, you're right here. You're Baltimore bred, Black.
Born and raised, baby.
Y'all don't.
Hey, Eastside.
Moving on. So, okay, we're not doing it.
Oh boy.
As we wrap this thing up. But seriously, like that's the part that I appreciate most about, the both of you, for as much as you've been able to speak from, and to speak for, in all that you've said today, and all the conversations that you've had prior to tonight, and all that you will have, henceforth. I appreciate you. Seriously, not from the bottom of my heart, but with my whole heart. And all out there to all of my Black kings, including these two that I had the privilege and the honor to speak with tonight. If you don't feel like you are a Black king, manifest that. Don't fake it, but manifest it, right? Until you see it. So I know we say fake it to make it, but manifest it until you see it. And allow others to see you, to see your aura. Don't hide yourself as you are growing and peeling back the layers. You are not invisible. I guarantee you that you are not. God made us visible for a reason. It's absolutely okay to let the others see you and hear you, and to be sure that you're only putting out that which is most authentic to you, and that light will return unto you. So be sure it's positive energy, even when your back's against the wall. I acknowledge your presence. And your significance. If you haven't heard today or ever a Black woman rather say it to you, I love you. I mean it.
I love you too, Queen. Love you too, Queen.
Love you too. On that note, it's been another week on the V Mix right here on BigExposedRadio.com. We are out of here. Peace, y'all.
I love peace with a bottle of chicken grease.
This particular person for this time. And I mean, it can be anything. You know that. Come on now. If y'all want to talk about it, y'all want to start listening to people that have betrayed you, that's fine with me. Y'all can shout them out. I've been betrayed. Okay? Y'all like that deep voice? I'm telling you, I'm going to be on praise and worship team because I got range. So it is the fact that, you are to reflect on the fact that this person, where did they show me signs that I could not trust them with